time of day I'm watching what you're saying, yeah. Only pair of J's I wear, he was playing it. Retro, let's go, I feel like Escobar.
What's up, everybody? You're tuning in to Kickback Sports with your host, Brendan Willett, and your co-host, Alex Hunt. Today, we're going to be talking the big bucks and the $503 million contract Mahomes signed for 10 years down there in Kansas City. It's a lot of money and a lot of time to be a quarterback for a franchise that looks like it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a crazy deal. I mean, $503 million. It's well-deserved. It's a lot more money than I thought he was going to get. I thought he was going to be around that $450 million range, but they actually gave him $477 guaranteed in his contract, which is absolutely absurd. I mean, if you look at the biggest contracts in sports history, the only one in the top 5 is football, and then 3 of the top 5 are in baseball. And when you look at it, like baseball, not a lot of contact, less likely to get hurt. I mean, they're really banking on Patrick Mahomes to be their guy for 10 years, and I think he can do it, but if you look at the history of guys who have signed 10-year deals, McNabb, who ended up getting washed at the end of his deal, they traded him to Washington. Favre, same thing happened to him. He signed with the Jets. Culpepper got hurt. Vic went to jail. A 10-year deal hasn't really worked out, but in my opinion, if anyone's going to be able to prove history wrong, it's definitely going to be Patrick Mahomes.
And it would be. And nobody's played as well as he has in his first 3 years of his career. And, my jaw dropped at this. I thought Bryce Harper's 10-year, $333 million deal was insane, and that's baseball money. And the Chiefs come out of left field with 503 in football. Just not something you see, and they still got to sign a bunch of guys. I don't know how much longer Tyreek Hill's there. They got a bunch of things going on down there. But 10 years is a lot of longevity. And that leads us into Dak Prescott, who's looking for a big payday, who just got a $31.5 million contract. Or not even a contract. He got the franchise tag looking for a long-term deal. What does that lead for him? What does the market look like for him now?
Well, I think it gives him a little bit. It's good and bad both for Dak and the Cowboys. For the Cowboys, it gives Dak a little bit more leverage. Mahomes he got paid after 2 years. I mean, of course, Dak doesn't have an MVP or a Super Bowl, but I mean, he's got a pretty good resume. He's got the wins. He can throw the football. I mean, like Dallas wants him to be they want him to be around. So I think also it kind of puts the contract situation back into reality. Dak's not getting nowhere near that money because he's nowhere near as good as Mahomes. But I think that he'll look at that and maybe I'll try to get around the Russell Wilson range at like $35 million now. So, but
looking what the ceiling's going to be for other guys that's not Patrick Mahomes, it's probably right around that $35 million a year mark for the quarterbacks.
Just to piggyback off what you're saying, I think that in order, the next 3 quarterbacks that's going to be signed is going to be Dak's going to sign, and then Deshaun's going to sign an extension, and then it'll be Lamar. I see Dak getting no more than $36 million.
Yeah,
something like that. I mean,
something around where they have the tag at right now.
Exactly. Yeah, just like he doesn't really have that big of an accolade sheet, but I mean, he's one of the top 10 starting quarterbacks in the NFL, in my opinion. Probably closer to 10, but I mean, he's better than a third of the league, so he definitely deserves to get paid.
Yeah, but that leads to the question of how long do you really think you can pay a guy? I mean, Lamar Jackson, no shot he can get a 10-year deal.
No shot. No. I totally agree. There's no way Lamar would get a 10-year deal because he can't stay in the pocket. There's no way he's going to be that productive for 10 years running around the football field like that. I mean, who have we seen do it? Adrian Peterson? That's it.
Yeah, and then he's
Frank Gore. Adrian Peterson and Frank Gore are the only 2 guys that are still running around the football like that at this age. In my opinion, he's going to have to develop into a way better passer than what he is if he wants to get big money.
Not necessarily a way better passer because his stats speak for himself this year, but he's got to stay in that pocket if they want to give him any sort of deal like that, because I'm not paying a guy that much money, especially what Mahomes is $116 million in guaranteed money if he gets injured. I would never, ever, ever put that contract near Lamar Jackson. There's just too much risk for too little reward.
I 100% agree. I mean, he's, shifty, not worried about getting tackled, Whereas Mahomes, he might run out of the pocket if he has to. He's got the ability to do it, but I mean, he's always just looking for just first guy open out of the pocket.
He's a smart quarterback.
That's what makes him so good.
Yeah. And Andy Reid is a happy man down there in Kansas City right now, knowing he's got him locked up.
Quarterback whisperer.
Yeah.
Quarterback whisperer, Andy Reid.
And then look what happened with McNabb as soon as he left McNabb's side. It just was a downhill spiral.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing's gone their way ever since.
I just wanted to get back on with Deshaun Watson. I mean, we didn't really talk about what we think he's going to get. Personally, since he's signing right after Dak, I think he'll be in the middle of what Dak makes and what Mahomes makes. So probably around that $38-40 million range for Deshaun. I mean, but then again, I mean, I had that same kind of worry with him as I do with Lamar. I mean, they're both pretty mobile. I mean, he's mobile too, but not as mobile as like Deshaun and Lamar and those guys.
Yeah, I mean, with the decision-making Bill O'Brien's got down there, who knows? He'll probably try to sign him to like a $700 million guaranteed deal for like 3 years or something idiotic.
And then trade the rest of the team for Jamal.
And then trade the rest of the team and be like, hey, we just need a quarterback who can run around and scramble and break a sack and throw a pass to beat the Bills in the playoffs. And then we'll lose 24-0, and then we'll go let them go. Or we'll be up 24-0, and then we'll go let them sign a $503 million deal over there in Kansas City. So things are looking interesting in the QB market, and then there's still some other free agency things going on down there. Raheem Mostert just requested a trade. Clowney's still looking for a contract. There's still things going on that we don't have answers for, but the Chiefs managed to find a 10-year answer with Mahomes.
No, yeah. I mean, those guys are two of the bigger name guys that are still looking for a contract. Clowney is being a little more reasonable. He's starting to drop his asking price. I know the Titans are interested in him. They want to see him work out first before they do anything.
That'd be a good ad for that defense. All the Raiders were interested down there too.
It'd be a really good ad. I mean, they got a young Harold Landry who's just now starting to get into his groove. I mean, with Clowney there to mentor him, just bring him in for one season.
Yeah, just give him a prove-it-year deal. For
the experience, yeah. He'll sign a one-year deal with a contender easily.
He only had like 3 sacks last year, and everyone wants sacks. It's not the QB pressures or any of that.
He was hurt last year. I don't really know exactly what his injury was, but he missed a couple games. It might have been a sports hernia or something with his hip or something like that. But He missed a couple games, and I don't think that he was full speed when he came back. I mean, that was a team that signed Marshawn. I mean, they were trying to make a playoff push. I think they kind of rushed him back.
Yeah, they were trying to figure something out. They just couldn't find an answer for it.
But that's another team that I could see. I could see him definitely returning back to Seattle this year. They still got some cap room left. I think that they need that. Definitely bringing in another defensive lineman or outside linebacker would be helpful for them, as well as a receiver for them as well.
Well, another person who needs a landing spot is Antonio Brown, and I think the Seahawks are starting to look better and better for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he was running routes on Russ's field the other day.
I mean, imagine him and DK Metcalf in the same offense with Russell Wilson as their quarterback.
It'd be so fast. It would be so fast. And they have a running back too. A lot of people don't really classify Chris Carson as one of the top running backs. I mean, like the name, yeah, he's kind of small, but this is a guy that's rushed for over 1,200 yards in back-to-back seasons. I mean, he's a good back for them to have. I mean, I'm excited to watch them play this year, especially with Russ. Russ is always the freaking showstopper. He's a beast.
Now, if Mostert could somehow go to Seattle, I don't know what they would trade away. I think that'd be cool too. That would really be something.
That would be pretty cool. But I mean, I just don't really see that being realistic. I mean, Mostert, he was the 49ers' best back last year, led them in touchdowns and in rushing yards. I don't really see Seattle trading for a guy who they already have someone that can do this. Carson was better than Mostert last year.
Yeah, I mean, they have to give up something stupid. That's not the realistic landing spots for Mostert is I have no idea, to be honest, off the top of my head.
Who do you think needs a running back?
who really needs a running back? Not the Redskins, because the Redskins have 3. The Cowboys don't need one. I'm going through all the divisions in my head. I mean, didn't the Eagles just draft someone?
I mean, the Eagles always are looking for another running back. I mean, they were talking to they never made any moves, but they were talking to Devontae Freeman. Yeah, they were talking to him for a little while, and then I believe they were talking to Carlos Hyde too. Which
they always have.
They never made a move, but I mean, I'm sure that they could find a way to get Mostert for not that expensive, because he's really been a 1 year wonder. Like, he was undrafted. He's a good back, but he didn't get drafted. I mean, he really hasn't. He got cut from two or three teams, and he found a home in San Francisco. And that's one of the things that I don't really understand why he's requesting a trade, is because after 2 or 3 destinations, he didn't find a fit, and he found a fit in San Francisco.
Now you're succeeding, and now you want to go. Like,
after one season, you see all these guys getting paid. It's, oh, I had a good season, let me get paid now. It doesn't work like that.
I understand the business aspect of things, but it's just so much money now. Speaking of the big business aspect of things, Big Ten just announced that they're only going to be playing games in conference this year. And so that is a lot of money lost, and I don't know what that sets up for the college football playoffs or anything else involving college football.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see how it plays out. I mean, I don't know how they're going to – I think it'll actually – well, I think it'll make the playoffs a little easier, because you're not going to have all the teams that are in the top 25, a lot of them are going to be playing each other. So with the adjusted schedules, because, I mean, you can't play anyone out of conference. So all these teams that like Alabama, who plays like 4 or 5 teams a year that nobody knows where the hell they're from.
Yeah.
They're not going to like teams, Ohio State, they're not going to play those teams. They're playing all conference teams. So, I mean, you're going to get Ohio State versus like all the teams in the conference are going to play each other. It's going to be easier to seed everybody based on
the conference championship is really what's going to matter now. Like, it's always mattered if you win the Big Ten, if you win the Pac-12, if you win the ACC, if you win the SEC. But if they actually do this in the conference, that means there's only one Auburn, there's only one LSU, there's only one Alabama, and then there's only one Ohio State, there's only one Michigan. And then the ACC, Clemson will just walk away with the ACC like they do every year with Trevor Lawrence. But the ACC said they're going to follow the same thing as recording this, and they'll include Notre Dame in the conference. So who knows? Notre Dame doesn't have a football conference, so who knows where they all are in all this. So
I mean, that would be pretty crazy if they added Notre Dame in, because, I mean, in my opinion, right now Miami's the best team to give Clemson a run for their money, and they're not even that good. I mean, they brought in De'Aaron King and De'Aaron King, and then one of the offensive linemen from Houston. I mean, they got a quarterback. He's on the Heisman watch right now. But if Notre Dame were to join the ACC, for this year, that would be crazy.
That'd be insane. I'd love to see Trevor.
Trevor, yeah, I just want to see somebody just come in there and just be able to go toe to toe with Clemson for 4 quarters. And Ian Book, what is he, 3-4 year starter now? Like,
yeah.
I think if they join the ACC, that'll be something fun to watch for sure.
I don't know, man. Everything I'm seeing is starting to just look like college football is not going to be a thing. More and more and more I look. Like, even just what they're trying to do with just campus classes at this point. Like, if they want to say football players are different than campus students, they're going to have to hold everyone at the same standard. So if you want to go online class, 100%. Then I just don't see it happening, honestly, at this point. I think it's a slow way of them saying there's not going to be college football this year.
I think that's what they're trying. Yeah, I agree. I think that's what they're trying to do, but I don't really see how they can make that happen. I mean, if you look at it, it's always with the NCAA. It's always been about money. Everything's been about money. That's why players don't get paid. They want to make as much money as possible. If you don't have a football season, you are losing so much money, and you don't have players you can take the salaries from. You don't have owners that you can take a salary from. I mean, you can maybe take some money from the school if you want to be an asshole about it, but there's not really a way to recuperate a lot of the revenue that's being lost. So I think that they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that something happens, whether it's, no fans or something like that. I think they're going to have to make a season happen.
Yeah, I saw even the Ravens, I think M&T holds like 77,000, and then they came out and said if they allow fans in the NFL this year, they're still only going to have 14,000 fans in the whole stands. So
that would actually make sense. I mean, you raise up ticket prices. That's a way for you to make back some of the revenue that's being lost. And I mean, people are going to buy them because like everyone is just begging for sport. I mean, people do anything for sports right now.
Today sports come back, I will have the happiest day of whatever lifespan I'm in right now.
I won't come out of my room.
Yeah, sports on is the day everything will be back to normal to me.
I'm going to be watching TV all day.
All right, everybody. This was episode 4 of Kickback Sports. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and be ready for the next one. Peace.
Things change, but never the squad. It's a new day. Making plays, Bobby Boucher.